coming along. So today I am going to be repotting up this Saharah Echeveria. I'm not sure if you saw my last video, but I basically did a kind of tour of the backyard, looked at the different pots I have, noticed that this guy had gotten super overgrown. First of all, he's huge, and then he has tons of little pups underneath him. So I am wanting to start doing some more planting this year in my front yard, and so I'm definitely going to want to be able to use all of the babies underneath him. And he definitely needs more sunlight for the babies underneath him to start growing. So I'm going to go ahead and plant him up and see what we got going on. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so I really have no idea what we have underneath here. I definitely going to want to try to save the roots as much as possible. I don't really want to do a bunch of cuttings right now, just because we are supposed to be getting a little bit of rain over the next couple days, and it is, well, it's cold for San Diego, but it's been in the 60s, which to me is freezing. Anyways, so I want to preserve the roots as much as we can without doing actual cutting. So I'm hoping that this guy is really well rooted and I won't need to just cut him off. But let's go ahead and see what we got going on in here. Oh wow, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's tons of babies underneath him. So I think I'm just gonna dump this out. Oh, well that's not too bad. Okay, not bad at all. So we have main guy and then a whole bunch of little pups underneath him. So these can easily just be taken off and give it a little cleanup and then put back in. So that's nice. So there's one, there's two, three, four. That's nothing there. Let's see here what's in here. 5, 6, and 7, 8 maybe. Kind of clean up underneath here. Throw this guy away. Alright, so now I have one huge guy that I can put back in. And then I also had, he's nice and big. And then I also had, so these are the paddle plants, which also have done really well. Oh, here's another baby, so that's, I don't know how many that is now. That's trash. So the paddle plants also have kind of propagated. They are a type of, I forget, I want to say Kalanchoe, but I could be wrong. I'll rename them what they are actually. But anyway, I have a bunch of them in here too. The whole bunch of snails. Ugh, snails in this yard are so horrible. If anybody has any ideas of what's working for you to get rid of snails, please leave it in the comments below, because I've tried all kinds of stuff and they just love eating anything and everything in their path. Like, yeah, it's just horrible. So the little thing about the Echeveria saharahs, so we are in Southern California. Oh, look there, snail damage right there. Huge. Southern California, and it actually gets quite hot here. We're inland about 20 miles or so, so we can get over 100 and pretty sunny, pretty hot. So I love Echeverias, but they're not the most hardy of the succulent clan. So one thing about the saharahs is they're supposed to be much hardier. They can handle full sun, they can handle freezing. We don't get a lot of freezing here, but we definitely get full sun. It can get up to 105 during the summer. So he is about a year old, I would say. I did have him partially shaded. You'll see from my previous video, he's been kind of underneath this the stove. So he has been partially shaded, but he's also been getting full western sun for about a year of really, you know, hot heat. So he's doing pretty good. I am wanting to put him in my front yard in arrangements. So we'll see how that works. But that is the plan for him. Oh, there's tons of dead snails in here. It's nasty. In case I haven't mentioned, I hate snails. I don't really know who likes them, but in the ocean, I guess they're fine. Okay, so I definitely don't want to put anything much in here besides, I think, basically him, because he pretty much takes up this whole pot. So I'm just going to actually mix this dirt around a little bit, mix the soil about, and just stick him back in here. He's got he's got little roots here. He didn't have really big root system as it is. So I'm just going to put him back in here, stick him back underneath. Like I said, we're supposed to be getting rain in a couple days, but he will be pretty protected underneath. And 7, 8, 9, and a bunch of little guys on here. I'm going to kind of clean up all the little detritus and just kind of plunk it back in. I don't need them to look super pretty. Like this one, if you can see, has a whole bunch of little babies already coming off of it. I'm just basically wanting to propagate as much as I can. So I'm not, this isn't a nice, beautiful arrangement. This is more of a recon, get your plants ready to plant. So I'm just basically putting in as much as I can in here so that they have some sunshine, and yeah, we'll see. Like, I'm not sure how these will even do, just because they're starting to do the etching, elongating thing they do where they don't get any sun. So these might be kind of past their prime, but you don't know until you try. And I will say the Echeveria saharahs, I mean, Echeverias in general, they propagate pretty well. The Echeveria saharahs are supposed to propagate quite quickly, as we saw from this little guy from only a year ago when he did about 9 to 10 babies. But without some sun, they just start etching and looking really crummy. So at least now they'll can get some sunshine and hopefully not look so horrible. So yeah, see these? I don't know if they're going to even last. It'll be interesting to come back in a few months and see what these all look like, because these don't look so great. I will say that's one thing I've actually liked about doing this little YouTube channel, is that you kind of forget what things look like, and it seems like, I mean, I can't believe a year's already gone by, but you know, next thing you know, it's another year. So it's really nice to be able to look back at your plants and just see what progress they have made, and you kind of realize then what plants take longer, what time they're shorter time to grow. So it's actually been beneficial just from a plant standpoint, just look back and be like, oh, I forgot that plant was that small when I bought it or whatnot. So I recommend taking kind of videos or even just pictures of your plants, and I also do that just to remember their names. So I'll take the pictures and then mark down their names, because I don't remember names. He's gonna have to go on his own. Actually, I can go right here. I'm really horrible with names. I'll kind of know like the common name, like this is a paddle plant. Then if you want the, you know, more specific name, I definitely am not so good at that. I just know what plants I like and what plants seem to work. But if you're asking me names, I call my mother and she tells me. She is the plant guru of the family, that's for sure. Okay, that will do just fine. I'm going to put a little bit more soil in here. So basically, my soil, I just buy the most inexpensive potting mix around, and then I add in pumice. So I just do a 50-50 mixture of pumice and potting soil. I just need good drainage. I don't want it to, especially depending on the plant, but most of all I have is succulents outdoors. So I just want something that has really good drainage, and they don't seem to be too picky about what type of soil, as long as they drain well. So, okay. That's it. So we got 2 plants all potted up. This guy in the back here will just be hanging out back where he was. I'm going to stick this guy also in where he won't get getting much rain. Thanks for coming along on this short little impromptu let's replant the Echeveria saharah. And thanks for coming along, and we'll see you guys again on the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Riley, say hi.